Atlanta's Inspiration Station, Praise 102.5's KD Bowe Show. Jonathan Nelson says, I agree. It's KD Bowe Show. All right. It has been a minute, and I've been wanting to have this conversation for a while. In the studio with me, I've got that dudes, Isaiah Templeton and Smokie Norful.
Yeah. What's good?
Oh, man, I'm good. Y'all good?
We're good,
sir.
man.
Super good.
So tell me this, man. So you found or discovered Isaiah, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He had to tell you the story, man. Tell
me the story.
I had open auditions for female background singers, and I was also at the same time auditioning for worship leaders at my church.
Yeah.
You want to jump in?
Yeah, I'll jump in. So one of my friends who's a female was auditioning for background singer, and I just went along because Smokie Norful has always been my favorite singer, legit, like since I was like 11. So I just went just so I could meet him, and I walk in.
He was 11, I was 12.
I walk in with her, and she signs up for her audition, and then the lady at the desk asked me, "Are you here to audition for the praise and worship leader position?" I said, "Yep."
Oh, and so she was disobedient to what you said. You said, I need all females. Why all females, though?
Well, at the time, I just had 3 female background singers, and I was getting ready to go on tours.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to keep the same vibe, same chemistry that we always had. So
I got you, because you're David Ruffin, and these are the Temptations.
There we go,
Okay.
right there. No, it was just a great chemistry. It worked on the road. There was no drama. I didn't have to worry about guys trying to tip into the girls' rooms.
Oh, got you.
It was just real. It was seamless,
got you.
And so I wanted to keep the same flow. But, he came, hitchhiked a ride with his friend and just found out that he would have an opportunity to audition for a worship leader. Never wanted to do it before he left. Gets there and decides, yeah, that's what I'm here for. That's exactly what I'm here for.
So you, was he a background singer, or did you just take him to the lead?
Yeah, so.
So I ended up doing the audition, and as I'm auditioning, so I go up there for the praise worship leader audition, and I go up there and I sing a hymn. And so when I sing a hymn, I go to church. And so he comes out of his office. He wasn't even in the room where he was auditioning.
Wasn't there.
He was in his office watching the audition.
Well, you didn't want to be biased or what?
No, it wasn't about me. I had other judges. I had people who were, sharp musicians, and I'm sitting in the back, chilling. And, I didn't want it to be about me. I wanted don't be nervous. Don't be any of those things.
I got
Just do your thing.
So of course I was upset because he's not even in here. So I'm just like, well, I'll go ahead and sing anyway.
So you did that you're mad singing.
Yeah, pretty much. I just went ahead and sang, and then I see everybody's eyes looking behind me. Wow. So I turned around and he's standing there, and the first words out of his mouth, "What are you doing? Are you auditioning to be worship leader? Why are you doing all these runs? You're doing too much. If you were leading worship like that, I come here and take the mic and I lead worship myself." And so I was like, I'm not even fazed by the fact that he's completely going off on me. I'm just like, this is Smokie Norful.
Can we pause for a minute? Let me tell you what I like about this. I'm going to tell you what I like about this. I like the fact that you were alpha enough and you were okay with your isness to talk to another man and check him.
Yeah.
Because number one, in my mind, clearly, man, you're talented. And clearly, I could probably use you for something amazing. But you're doing too much right now, so you were able to be iron that sharpens iron.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. So you ended up getting the gig.
Well, I ended up getting the call. They said, come to rehearsal. He wants you to be a part of his team. And I was like at the church, and I'm thinking like I'm gonna have to turn it down because I live in Ohio. I can't and so they were like, no, he wants you to be a part of the background singers. And I was like, oh, I'll be there.
Okay.
I'll be there. And so I ended up coming, and it just so happened that I was able to do the tour with him that same year. And so ever since then, it's been that same dynamic, just coach, player, mentor, mentee, all of that.
Do you play any instruments at all?
I don't. That's
Okay.
one thing that he's fussed at me about.
So you must really be able to sing then.
Like for real.
Okay. All
Like
right.
for real.
Okay, in the studio with Isaiah Templeton and
Yes,
Smokie Norful. And when we come back, we're going to talk to you a little bit more. And Smokie, I love you, man. I got to ask you some stuff. You know that.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Keep where you got it. It's KD Bowe Show on Praise. Keep it rolling. Yes, keep it rolling. You ready? And you can. My phone died. Yeah, just keep it on them. You don't have to put it on me because that's.
Yeah, because you're right.
My wife's calling. Okay. Oh, that's good. But we'll just. Well, you can roll for now. I mean, for now, because it's supposed to be on them anyway, and we got it covered. All right. Do I have it rolling? Am I rolling? Rolling. Yeah.
I'm talking about. I'm getting this. I'm
It's,
gonna order it on my phone. When we leave.
it's crazy, man. Here we go. Atlanta's Inspiration Station, Praise 102.5, KD Bowe Show. In the studio with Smokie Norful and Isaiah Templeton.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, so how long you been singing, really?
I've been singing. My first solo was at 8 years old. My father literally argued with the deacon board and the who's who of our church to get them to put me on programs.
Was your father saved?
He was a youth pastor and one of the elders at the church.
He's Elder Templeton.
Yeah,
his father is
yeah.
Elder Templeton.
So he heard me singing in the back seat one day. Actually, it was Kirk Franklin and Rance Allen, something about the name Jesus.
Oh.
And I was singing Rance Allen's part, like literally, like word for word, run for
Natural,
run.
or what
And he just turned around and looked at me. And when he looked at me, I was like, oh, I must be good. And so that's when I knew.
Your dad?
Yeah, my dad looked at me, and it was just the way he looked at me. I could tell, like, oh, I'm doing something right. And so then he told me this years later that he actually had to argue with the people at the church, like, no, put him on. And they was like, he too young, he might not be ready. He was like, nah, put him on.
How old were you again?
8.
8 years old. Goodness
That's when I did my first solo, and then ever since, I just been singing.
So there are a lot of talented people, man. I think people just, talent is one thing that, there's a lot of talented people.
It is.
But what is it that causes you, I know you would be able to answer this, that causes you to be able to have that steadfastness in this industry, whereas talent is just not enough, and I think we know that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, talent will get you in the door, but longevity is created by character, lifestyle, and even I guess being tempered by grace.
Okay.
Having God's grace and favor on your life will continue your process of becoming, and humility. Believe it or not, because He says, if you humble yourself before men, if you humble yourself before God, I'll exalt you before men. So if you can remain low, then God will continue to take you high. And I think that is what creates longevity. And in this industry or any industry, I mean, that's a life principle.
Is he humble because he got 2 earrings? That's a little arrogant spirit when he walked in, Doc. I wasn't really sure where we was going to go with this, but
Let me tell you. This is yes.
Oh, you don't know me. You don't know me very well, but I clap too bad. I play too much.
I hear the Lord.
Hey!
Saying remove them. But we just had this conversation. It's crazy.
Really?
We just had this conversation this morning.
I ain't tripping off your earrings, man.
I'm tripping off of
Okay,
I'm
good.
tripping off of
That's your pastor.
Yeah, exactly. But I just told him this today. I said, you got to be mindful of wherever we become all things to all men that we may win some.
Come on.
So I'm never going to be like, that's wrong. You're going to hell. Take those out. But it's be mindful and position yourself so that nothing becomes a distraction or a hindrance to what you're trying to say.
So, Smokie, you're old school with that, and that's a mindset that's not there. And we're going to play some of your music, Isaiah, in a moment, some of your new music.
Yes,
and,
sir.
of course, your project is out. Let's just throw that out there. The project is available, and we'll get to that momentarily. But you're old school with that ideology and with that mindset. A lot of people don't talk like that.
Well, to an extent, I'm old school to an extent because I don't believe in being so condemnatory or so legalistic that you don't allow people to become in a natural progression in the process. You hold a standard up and you pray that God would. The Bible says the heart of the king is in the hand of the master. He turns it. He, not us. Right. He turns it whichever way he chooses. And so you allow them to go through the process of becoming. And for some people, it's a long journey. Some it's a short journey. Some it's to the left, to the right. But whatever the case, you give them the standard, and then you give them enough love and nurturing so that they get to the place where they measure up to Christ's standards.
Okay.
And that's a hard standard to maintain.
But I know you see a lot, though.
Man,
There's a lot that's out here. And then, so how do you handle that, though? When you got that person that's clearly a player. That's where you're gonna go with that.
Hey, that's with loving kindness have I won thee.
But what do you do? Do you say something, or you say that's not my place to say it?
Well, it depends on the situation. Like, when he's submitted to my ministry or to my covering, it's my place to say it.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to coach him. I'm going to tell him, this is what I see. And I don't ever want to try to make people's decisions for them either.
Love it. Yeah.
I want you to come to a place where you are comfortable and confident in whatever decision you come to. Okay. It's really between you and God. Okay. But I'm going to tell you what the word says. I'm going to give you the truth. And then what you do with that truth determines your altitude.
Are you okay with being the elder statesman in the room?
No.
In this, well, why? Because
it's a weight, man.
You still got that youthfulness on it.
It's a mantle. That plus, my kids keep me young. That's first of all. They keep me very young.
How old are
very
your kids?
15 and 17. Those are my youngest two.
I am praying for you, my brother.
Listen.
Between teenagers, I get the same thing.
Listen.
14, 15, 16.
And so you get it. They keep me young. They'll tell me, Dad, that ain't cool. Dad,
Can you dance?
What do you have on? No, they hate for me to dance.
They don't.
I think I do all right, but they're like, no.
What dance do you do that you feel like you really can do it?
Like the Dougie and what's the one?
The shoot.
The shoot.
I was gonna say, you got it? Okay.
I got it.
I don't know because when you doing it,
it take me.
with that shoot.
It take me. Hey,
hilarious. Okay, being the elder statesman in the room, sometimes things have to be said.
Yeah.
And certain situations have to be called out. I think you were public. You knew I was going here. Yeah, I think you were vocal about the whole Grammy situation.
I was.
And I don't want to get too deep with that because it can get deep, but I don't want to get too deep.
It was a very deep situation.
What was the reason why you made the statement, album of the year? Clearly, I personally and a lot of other people were just surprised at the person. Not that we don't like the person that won, not anything like that, but it's kind of like, okay, is this where we at right now? Talk to me.
Well, for me, and I have to say this, I had to put this disclaimer out here. I didn't come back behind that and put anything up because for so many reasons. But I spoke to, what's the young lady? Help me out. Tori Kelly's husband. I spoke to her husband. Oh. And I also spoke to Kirk after all of that.
And then you posted?
Well, no, I posted prior to speaking to them.
Okay, and then
But when I saw that there was offense or that they had been offended, I called them.
You feel they were offended?
No, they posted that they were offended.
Really?
Well, Kirk didn't, but her husband did. Yeah, he commented on my feed and said that he was offended and said that he had a problem with, Kelly being attacked in this way. And I said this had nothing to do with her. And I disqualified that whole, thing and said it's not about her at all. It's about the industry. It's about the organization. It's about everything but what people made it about. They made it about her music is good enough and, what's gospel and what categorizes and constitutes what gospel is. And they made it about everything except for what it was literally about. And in that regard, I had to tell them, I said, well, listen, my intention was never to offend. I actually have apologized. I told the her husband, I said, listen, if it was offensive to you and if it felt like an attack, it doesn't matter whether that was my intent or not. That's how you read it. That's how obviously some other people read it. So I'm big enough to apologize. And I was going to post that apology and put that up to make sure that they understood, hey, this is what happened. This is what I've done. And I'm okay saying, hey, I could have done it differently, but I would never have taken back what I said. Because I meant what I said to the nth degree, that we are being mistreated, mishandled, that this category has diminished. When I first won, there were 6 awards in that category. Now there are 2. And then if you're going to major in another genre, and then you can come over and just at any given moment, just put your name in a hat because it's an easy win. You bring a lot of other, things to the table, a lot of votes to the table. Well, at that point, it is no parity in the process.
Okay.
It's unfair to our people, and when I say our people, I mean gospel, the people who live in this community on a consistent basis.
Right.
And that was my whole premise. It had nothing to do with Kirk, nothing to do with Tori. That was my whole premise, is that we got to make sure that we're being fair in our process. Put Kirk, and it wasn't even about me. I didn't have an album out. And people were like, "Are you just jealous and envious?" I have Grammys. I've been through the process. I've gone through all of this. It's not from any personal gain. I saw the hurt that was experienced by the people in the category.
Okay.
I felt their pain. I saw their posts. I spoke to some of them.
Okay.
I know the hurt they carried. That, man, we worked so hard and we're here all the time.
Okay.
And we didn't get any acknowledgement, no kind of, it was a painful thing. And like you said, as the elder statesman, as someone who has validated the process, been through the process, experienced both sides, I felt like somebody needed to encourage them.
And the thing is, you really don't do it for those accolades. You really don't.
No,
but if
I don't.
you're going to have the accolades, at least let them be fair.
If you're going to take my money for membership, then treat me fair in the process.
I got you.
I'll even say, even to our own community, the gospel community, I'll even say this: you can't complain about a system that you don't participate in.
Wow.
So it goes both ways.
Wow.
Like if you're not going to sign up and you're not going to register for NARIS, if you're not going to vote in the process,
Right.
then you have no voice to complain on the other side.
Wow.
How many of our people did not vote in our category, are not registered, won't pay the $100 and something, whatever it is,
Okay.
for the membership.
Right.
So it's two sides. It's so many facets and layers to that.
Yeah, man.
And it's more than just, what was on the surface. But I understood people, they don't know. They don't have an insight. They don't have an understanding. They don't know the intricacies of the system. So I understood that they came from all different angles, man. I literally never want to be the lightning rod to cause division in the kingdom.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy that causes division. I want to bring people to a place of unity in him. But I also know that sometimes that means you got to make some people uncomfortable by being truthful.
Okay, well, you said that. All right, well, you got a record here. Isaiah Templeton. Isaiah Templeton. Come on, hat. Come on, beard. Come on, bud. You did it. Okay, so tell me about this record, man. Well, what was it? This is your first record?
Yes, sir. This is a project called This Life. We did a live recording in 2016 at Victory Cathedral Worship Center, where the founder and pastor is Pastor Smokie Norful, where the people walk in victory and they are known as victory walkers. Praise God. But no, we did the recording in 2016. It's called This Life. It is a number of songs, 11 songs, I believe. Just songs that'll point people's hearts back to God. I would like to call it a soundtrack for this life. So you can listen to it any day, anywhere, and be encouraged and be uplifted.
Okay, all right.
sir.
Well, good. Well, tell me the song I need to play. I'm going to play a song. Tell me the song that I need to play.
Well, the single that's already out is Everything Will Be All Right, but you need to probably play Head of My Life and get you a little church in your life today.
Head of My Life. Okay, all right. Isaiah Templeton, Smokie Norful.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
thank you, man.
Thank you.
One final thing for you. Tell everybody where it is available.
Okay, the project will be available this Friday, March 8th, everywhere digital music is sold and purchased. You can actually pre-order it
yes.
now.
Get it now.
It went on pre-order February 15th, and it'll be available fully on March 8th.
So one final thing. So you can sing. You can sing for real, right?
For real.
For real, sing.
Like for real.
Give me something.
There it is.
Give me something.
If not for you, I never would have made it. In all my trials, you pulled me through. Oh, though I've been down, I'm never forsaken. I know everything will be all right.
Are you auditioning for Star Search or what you doing? That's good, man. That's a good Isaiah Templeton.
Your turn.
When we come back, not at all. Coming up. We got more on the way. On praise. Appreciate y'all
Yes,
for being
sir.
there, man.
Thank you.